I was reflecting on this night, July 17th, and this is my 5th Quiggy comedy hour, which has been super fun. I do them once a quarter, and it was a little tougher to sell tickets tonight because everyone had plans. They're like, oh, going to a wedding. Oh, we actually have a beach cabin, so I'm going to a beach cabin. Or like, everybody's off in a group doing something amazing in Washington State, apparently except for us. So let's just own it. Okay, we're in Seattle at this comedy show in the middle of summer. Gosh darn it, no one invited us to the parties. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, that's okay. Because my mom, Janie, is here, and she used to give me advice in middle school and high school, you know, when I didn't get invited, you know, I didn't really fit in, whatever. It's cool. You may have gotten this advice. They're just jealous. You know this? That's why we're not at the beach cabin, because they're jealous. Because if we came to the beach cabin, then their friends would see how gorgeous and amazing we are and like how fun we are to be around, and then they'd want to be our friend more than they want to be their friend. So that's why we're all here together right now instead of at a beach cabin. Okay, so we're winning. That's what we're doing. Good. Mom, am I right? We're all jealous. If you want that advice anytime, just call my mom. She'll tell you how great you are and why the whole world is just out to get you, because you're amazing. Okay, just so you know. All right, so tonight's super special. Every night that we do Quiggy Comedy Hour is special because I always bring in people to do their art. And tonight we have an extremely special gift. You girls want to get up and head into your, head off to stage left. So I scout talent on Facebook apparently. That's like a new thing that I do. Okay, you're gonna start now. I love it. Yeah, you hear that clickety clack. Do you guys want to come in? I don't know.
Are we starting right now?
Yeah. Well, I was going to intro you and then I was going to open the door and let you come in. But if you want to stand here, it's looking really great, actually.
Okay.
Alex, you can get a photo of this. Anyways, so I'm scouting talent on Facebook as usual. Just kidding. And I noticed my cousin Sarah. So our grandmothers were twins. Am I right? Yes. That's how she's my cousin. Isn't that cute? I know. She got all the looks. It's okay. And I see that she's up at a Camp Orkyla. Who knows Camp Orkyla? Orcas YMCA camp, right? Great camp. Tap dancing, like things you don't know about your cousin, right? I'm like, I knew Sarah was cool. She's also a public school math teacher, so can we just give it up to her? Gets awards. Yeah, math.
Yes,
Yes. All right. And so I see her tap dance, and I was like, clearly, I need to recruit Sarah to come to the show. It took one message. She said yes, and here we go. Okay, so I've named them. This is Lauren also. Okay, so Lauren and Sarah. I've named them the Clickity Clack duo. They are just starting their West Coast tour. You can book them. I'll let you talk to their agent. And they said they don't need music because it's in their soul. All right, so we're just going to enjoy it whenever you are ready. Tap dancing. I just want to talk to you. Can both. Well, yeah. Okay. So, for how long have we been tap dancing?
20.
Okay. You know you're talented, and you like can't even remember.
I was 5.
You were 5.
I was 4.
4. And where did you train, Sarah?
Terry Danaker Dance in Aberdeen, Washington.
Woo! And it shows. That was talented.
Carlsbad Parks and Recreation.
All right. So, from multiple stages, you come together in this beautiful moment. What would you say is your favorite thing about tap dancing?
I like the rhythm. It's like drumming with your feet.
Yes.
Quotable.
Yeah.
Sarah?
Yeah, I like it when it sounds like we're just one tap together and it has a nice beat.
Okay, so noted. Come on in, whoever's at the door, if you want. Okay, you're good. She's like, I've saw the tap dancing I've done. I don't know what else you've done. That was amazing. Her life has already changed. David is Lauren's husband, apparently. Congratulations, David. And I noticed when they were rehearsing, he had the perfect compliment. I didn't know. So if you ever end up with a tap dancer, this is what you say to them. You guys sounded like one person was tap dancing. Okay, that's what you say. And they were like, thanks. For those of us interested in tap dancing, any, just like try it now, find a good teacher, any advice, find it in your soul.
There's a lot of adult intro tap classes, more than you would think. We take some of them. It's very fun. Try it.
Okay. Sarah, any thoughts from you?
Yeah, never too late to start dancing. Do it.
Oh my gosh. It's like, was it drumming with your feet, and it's never too late to start dancing. Round of applause. Clickity, Clack, duo. There's so much to be grateful for when you have tap dancing in your life. All right. Welcome everybody to the show. Thank you again, Sarah and Lauren, for giving us that strong start. This is really tall, but we're just going to work with it. This is the moment where my sister reminded me that I need glasses. Let's do it. Which was really funny last time because I was doing jokes about becoming nearly 50, and she said, you need glasses. And I was like, you're correct. That's right. All right, so on the West Coast being a beautiful place topic, let me just focus on this for 1 second. Hold on. They're right there. I recently went to the East Coast. People here from the East Coast before I say offensive things? Okay, great. All right, there we go. That's great. That place is scary. I don't know what you all are thinking, but I get to the East Coast and I just feel this oppressive sense that I'm not enough. Does anybody else have that feeling? Or just me? Man, people are getting up and doing stuff back there, like cropped haircuts, pleated front pants, schedules, or at work at 8, they're accomplishing things. I'm like, man, we don't shower enough on the West Coast. That was my general vibe. I was like, you guys are up to something, it's like, yours got a purpose. It was a little intimidating. I felt a little like Featherbrain who didn't have a lot going on. That was my general vibe. That's not how I feel when I'm here. I feel very important. I was noticing so dudes back east, very different to me. This is DC, okay? And then dudes in Seattle in a number of ways. So haircut length would be number one, right? So a lot of cropped hairdos, clearly shampooed, okay? Which is not clear in Seattle, am I right? You're like, Seattle's this funny thing where you have all these, millionaire dudes who really have poor hygiene. Let's just be real. So, like 3 years ago, they were just sitting in their apartment on a rainy day, eating spicy hot Doritos, drinking the dew, and playing video games for free. And now they do the same thing, but the Doritos are delivered and they're paid like $300K a year. And you're like, working well for you. And they didn't change in that time. They just started earning more. So they're just around kind of undersunned, a little doughy, just doing their thing. They're like, ladies, and you're like, oh. You could do push-ups. That would be great. That would be so fun. For me, I would do push-ups. Okay. Whereas the guys back east, was just the pecs were more built. They're wearing the button-downs. They got those pleated front pants, but everything's kind of slim and trim. And I was like, dang, I think they did push-ups when they woke up. I think they're really on it. So, but it is a little intimidating. And I was thinking about the concept of Seattle being a little hippy-dippy, right? I'm reading a book called The Mists of Avalon. Have anyone read of this? Okay. Oh, Pretty said, oh yes, I'm reading them. It's been life-changing. So Avalon is where all the priestesses hang out. It's magical. You can only get to it if you're down with the priestess and druid energy, and otherwise the clouds are shrouding it. And I was like, it's a little bit Seattle, I think, to the people. I'm sure they come over here and they're like, these people are crazy. Because I was thinking about the word chakra, okay? Just a quick survey. Who knows what the chakras are? Seattle, come on, more hands. Debbie, I know you do. She taught me about them. Okay, I think if you did the same survey in back east, they'd be like, this is so stupid. What's the chakra? Okay, so here we go. Do they come in one color or multiple colors? Multiple. Yeah. Are they hanging out outside your body or are they in the center? Okay, very good. Although some people be like, there's actually 32 and some of them are in outer space. It's like, okay, I get it. Does anybody know what the word chakra means in Sanskrit? I know some of you here in the fifth row do. Just shout it, come on.
Wheel.
There's my yoga girls. They're like, of course they know what it is. That was my extra credit Seattle stuff. I just feel like people back east would think it's weird that we know what chakras are, and yet we all basically do. And we're wondering about them. We're worried. So another thing about back east I found very stressful significant lack of vegetables. Who's with me? Have you been there? You go out to eat and you're like, where's my vegetables? So in Seattle, you go to Thai food because you need to cleanse. Am I right? You're like, I need an insane amount of vegetables to fix this. Okay, I need turmeric, I need coconut milk, I just need a lot of good things to enter my body, so I'm gonna go to Thai food. So I get in off my flight, it's late, and instead of Googling anything, I just go to the front desk and say, where is Thai food nearby here, thinking it would, fix the whole day I had on the plane. I order curry tofu. It's gonna be good. Like creamy, veggies, all the nice things. I literally receive a very weird mountain of very tiny, perfectly shaped fried tofu squares that are like really small, like little cubes, which has the kind of pre-made, pre-flash frozen vibe, right? And there's a little mountain in this bowl. And then the curry sauce, which is what I will call it instead of like coconut curry, it's probably made with canola oil and like somebody threw some turmeric in. It's just kind of like drizzled over. Are there any vegetables?
No.
Not one. I'm literally digging through, I'm like, where's the vegetables? Literally, I've fried nasty things with canola oil. That was my Thai food. It's like, come on, Baggies. And they charge the same. So I wisen up and I go to Chinatown a few days later because my girlfriend's like, you gotta go to Chinatown. It's so much fun in DC. I'm like, okay. So I talked to the guy this time. I'm like, I'm wise to you people. Okay, you're not gonna give me vegetables. I do not explicitly ask for them. So I order tofu with like, I don't know, whatever the clear sauce is, garlic sauce or something. And I say to him, I would like some vegetables. And he's like, oh, okay. Like, we need to talk about this. This is new. I was not gonna give you any. So weird. And he's like, what kind of vegetable do you want? Like, I had to pick it out. There should be like 7 kinds and all of them should be delicious. I said, fine, I want eggplant. He's like, okay, eggplant, tofu, great. Guess how much he charges me for my eggplant? $8 in addition on my meal because I wanted eggplant. Thank you, Seattle. I just had to cleanse that. That was upsetting. Like something is deeply wrong with all of you. I'm not only going to complain, I do have a compliment coming, but coffee, okay. So in Seattle, you can have this experience, which I love, which is like you're walking along, it's cold, it's a little foggy, and you're like, gee, I kind of want some coffee. I don't know. You just passed an amazing spot where you could have gotten some with like really good foams. But you can think about it a little more because you're gonna walk 50 more feet and be like, maybe I really do want coffee. And then there's another spot where you get like a really nice cup of coffee. Then finally you come to the conclusion, no, I really want coffee. And there's another spot in 50 feet where you can get a really nice cup of coffee. And you walk in and the barista's got tattoos up to here, one of which just says, I hate myself. And you're like, this is gonna be an amazing cup of coffee. Thank you, Seattle. Like, this very upset person is going to just make an amazing foam, flour on the top, and they're gonna be angry the whole time. Yes. So I go back to yes, isn't it so true?
Yes.
We don't like depressed baristas to be depressed, but they do make really good coffee. So back there, what do you think I was drinking for coffee? Anyone? Who's been there?
Dunkin'. Folgers.
First call, Dunkin'. Folgers is second. Yes, Folgers comes up later. So I call it Dunk Dunk because I've been there many times now, and I have to say I kind of like it. Okay, so why do I like it? Not necessarily the coffee. It's because when you get coffee and cream, you basically get cream with a little coffee. Anybody with me? The woman in the back is nodding. I just got a thumbs up. It is like a delicious bath of dairy, and your whole body just relaxes. I'm pretty sure it's not just cream. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm feeling some corn syrup solids and maybe some Gorgon, whatever else they stuck in there to kind of make it euphoric for you, And I walk in, by the way, and it's like 2 middle-aged Hispanic women who are clearly like moms to whatever number of children, just giggling, just having the time of their life. They're working at a freaking donut shop. They're not gonna get down. They greet me when I walk in. They have no neck tattoos. And we have a nice chat, and I walk out with my coffee with cream. So I do like Dunkin' Donuts. I just would probably die if I lived back east because I would have that cream all the time. And we're not sure what's in it. It's okay. Okay, so, and the only other thing I have to say is I don't think smiling is a safe activity. My feeling on the emotional side, because you seem like a lunatic, right? You're like, why you smile at me, huh? What's wrong? I feel like you can be angry. That's okay. Back east, you can be angry. Yeah, that's about it. Mad, I was just say, or mad. Okay, so never mind. I thought sad, but no, that'd be too vulnerable. They're not gonna do the sad thing. They're just angry. And everybody's stupid. And you have to prove yourself, and they're judging you. I had to just get through that. So I was happy to get back home to the cool waters of Puget Sound. So I have my little quiz. You ready? Okay, so I'm gonna make a statement about a group of people. And you all are gonna either shout East Coast or West Coast. You ready? This is your job. Number 1. Check in regularly with themselves about how they feel about their career. Am I right? That's true. Wear pleated front slacks despite all trends pointing towards flat front.
East Coast.
That's right. There's a lot of, you can do pleated front, but whatever. Planning to leave work by 2 p.m. to beat traffic and get in a half day of skiing. That's right. All right. Uh-huh. This is just me venting. Charge you extra if you want vegetables on your plate. Chinese restaurants. East Coast. God. I totally gave him heat too. I was like, "You're kidding, right?" He's like, "That's what eggplant." I'm like, know what quinoa is when they see it on a menu. And as I say, Anne can pronounce it correctly, as opposed to quinoa. Okay, so good for us. We know our quinoa. All right. Actually polish their shoes and keep their beards trimmed as a norm. Very good. Okay. Eat fish, but only after acknowledging it was once a sentient being that had feelings.
Exhausting West Coast.
In the case of salmon, might have had to fight its way through a human-constructed dam.
Most exhausting
West Coast. That's right. We care. Loves hockey and considers the hills of Vermont to be mountains. Apparently a mountain is anything over 800 feet, so I had to look that one up. They do have mountains. Wonders if one day we could all really live in peace. Maybe they're thinking that. It's suppressed. This is where Lauren's answer comes. Considers Folgers a form of coffee. This one might be controversial, but I think it's funny. Has to admire Donald Trump for his ability to make a deal. See? Neither coast! You got me! There you go! Not allowed, if you're from either coast, to make any compliments to Donald Trump. Okay, that was a trick question. You were totally with me on it. That was cool.
I didn't say mean, though.
What did I say, mean?
I said mean.
Okay. All right. So, moving on. I come from a West Coast family full of people who have made their way, across the country to do manual labor jobs like logging and construction and lumber milling, hard things with their body, farming. And so I have a lot of that energy, I feel like. And my mom, bless her heart, raised 3 children who were all over 9 pounds when they were born. I was over 10 pounds, and basically spent a lot of her life force energy trying to feed us, right? So you just have these wackadoodle, hyperactive, nutso children who are growing at a rate of like 2 to 3 inches a year. And one of the family jokes was, one night I came down, it was probably like 5th, 6th grade, some point in the evening, came to my mother and I said, "Have we had dinner yet?" And she's like, "Yes, we have." I could really go for another, Mom, if you could just figure that out. So there was always this like stream of cereal being eaten. That was kind of how we filled in the pockets, right? So, "Have we had dinner yet?" is one of those family stories of like how weirdly hungry I was basically all the time. And my sister, I was talking to her about this and she goes, "Yeah, like there was never leftovers. Like, what leftovers? Like you just ate everything." And when it came to dinner time, there was this thing we called competitive eating. Okay, so who grew up with siblings? All right, right, frightening people, the siblings. So we had an older brother who was growing at his own spectacular rate. So God bless my mother, she just would come to the table and just be like, "You're all annoying. Don't talk to me. I'm just giving you your plates." She sits down. My dad's kind of doing his thing. He's good, but the kids are getting ready for competitive eating. So my brother, we know, is going to come after our food. So the first 30 seconds to a minute, everybody's just eating. Like everybody has a plate, they're focused on their plate, thank God we're finally eating. But then you start to hear the shift in the breathing and the eyes start to and you recognize you are now being watched, right? So my brother, the whole time, is looking for an angle in, all right? So you only have so much food, there's no leftovers. So my sister and I would literally take our elbows out, lock them in front of our plate, and you would shovel from the inside. This was called defensive eating. And you just did your best, because he would distract you, kind of go right and then come left and then like get in there and get something. And when it came to dessert, his goal was actually before you even had his, he went for yours. So the moment you lost focus, it was like, ding, he's out. And my parents just like, "We're tired of you guys, figure it out." Like there was no like Jim, give her back her food. It was like, you just didn't have dessert. So competitive eating. So I go out into the world as this person. It's a little awkward. Still growing apparently, because I can't seem to stop eating. I grew from like probably around 5'7" to about 6 feet in sixth grade, 6'7". I just sprouted, like it hurt, it was awful. So I was this very athletic young person in my 20s and 30s playing volleyball and basketball, and I would go out to lunch, with lunchmates, with workmates, and it was just this known thing that's similar to my brother back in the day. I would eat, and at a certain point, my breathing would change, and I would start to scream. They're ready for this. Or like, I need to know when I'm done eating so I can tell Bridget, because she's gonna want the rest of my food. This is not a joke. At work lunches, we would just shift the plates through, and I remember one time, and I finished everything pretty much, unless it was something gross that I didn't want. And I remember one time this super petite, 5'2" friend of mine, Karen. She was lovely, super athletic chick, but she was like, it must be really expensive for you to feed yourself. I was like, yeah, stupid, of course it is. I'm like a foot taller than you. Do you know how painful this is? I just eat all the time, it's horrible. It is expensive. So that was sort of my, my struggle as an adult. And I, for a long time, dated someone who was 6'4", and we would commiserate, because he's like this big, large, hungry person, and so am I, about how stressful family style is. Let's go make it about that when you're like 4 plates to share, and you're like, no, please don't. Because the little eaters are all just chilling, they're having a couple bites, and like hanging out, like not feeling pain, and all the big people are like, man, I can really finish all those plates. Like there's just a little bit on each one, and we're like waiting for them. So I just want to be like, okay, quick survey. I'm a 10 out of 10 on hunger. Where are you? You're done. You can't do that because it makes people upset and nervous. You kind of ruin the party. But so, family style is brutal. To people over 6 feet tall, just so you know. Just let them order their own food. You can't let them eat the whole plate. That's where we're at. Family style sucks. In 6th grade, by the way, there are so many stories about me eating a lot. We could stay here till midnight, but I'm just telling 2 more. So when I was in 6th grade, I became a latchkey Gen X kid. Mom got a job at a travel agency, brother and sister in sports. So I take the bus home by myself, and I listen to Simon and Garfunkel, and like, what is that group, YMCA group? Somebody get me. Village People records and stuff like that. Do my homework until I get my first babysitting job. This is great, right? I'm a babysitter. So the job is just across the lake. We lived on this little lake that was really tiny in Olympia. And so the school bus went all the way around the lake, so all I had to do was stay on the school bus to go to my babysitting job. So I go to the babysitting job, show up, and immediately start housing all the food in their kitchen, apparently, which I don't really remember, but I'm sure I did because I was hungry. So I got this little 6-year-old kid, and I'm kind of hanging out with him in front of the TV. We're just snacking. I think it's okay. Apparently it was not okay. Apparently the amount of food I was eating was a little crazy. And so the mom starts to kind of coach me when I show up, because she's like running off to do the swing shift as a nurse. She's a lovely lady. She's like, so Bridget, I have these snacks here for you. And there's this, but she doesn't want me like eating the good stuff, and I can't eat dinner, and there's certain things. I was like, okay, fine. And she leaves. And the little boy, because kids are great, turns to me and goes, my mom says you eat a lot. Thanks, kid. Now I know. So totally embarrassed. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore. So I started going home, eating like 3 bowls of cereal, and then riding my bike to my babysitting job. So my mom says you eat a lot is right up there with have we had dinner yet? Just classic stories. I kind of imagine that I'm some sort of descendant of the giants who used to like live in caves on top of mountains, and they just wake up hungry and like stomp down the mountain. And it's like, here they come. It's like, she's coming. And it's like a giantess. And I just imagine villagers with cheese wheels just like rolling them out and trying to get as many between me and them. Because a big giant doesn't see people, they just see snacks. They're just like, I just need to eat. And they just hope I'd eat enough cheese before I got to the village and pass out, which I wouldn't mind. I'd be into that. So anyways, yeah, a lot of eating too much for other people. Okay, just have to say one more. If we have an apocalypse, I have a plan. I've thought about this because I'm doomed, right? Because I'm going to need to eat a lot more than other people, and tall people are being gone, okay? Because there just won't be enough calories. So I have I feel this is a gentle plan. This isn't that bad. So if I see a person smaller than me with a sandwich, I'm just gonna bop them on top of the head just enough so they pass out and hit the ground. Okay, this is my plan. Just gentle. I'm not trying to cause any real trouble. And then I'll just give them a few pieces of cheese out of the sandwich, just lay that, and then I'll just eat the sandwich. And that'll at least give me a few more weeks. Okay, just knock them out. That's kind of my goal. I think it's fair. All right. So, yeah, that's what it's like to be tall. Can anybody else relate to the, yeah, okay, thank you. Madison, good. And by the way, I don't have my phone with me, so I'm checking the time right now. Okay, good, we're done. All right, So I'm gonna do just one more little story here, and then we have a big treat coming up. I'm making you wait, which is brutal. That's fine. Okay, you're call me or your little beverage. Okay. So on the topic of family lore, everybody has their family stories, right? There's like the one line, the one person said, whatever. So back in the day when we were kids, you would wake up on Saturday morning and life was good because you would watch cartoons and The Price is Right and you would eat cereal. You were really lucky, mom made waffles, like these were good days. So early morning Saturday, just doing somersaults on the carpet, achieving nothing, right? Looking forward to a day of nothing. Every evening on Saturday, we would go to 5 o'clock Catholic Mass. So that was basically that's how the day worked, okay? But every once in a while, mom had a project, right? So we often washed cars, vacuumed the floors, mopped, folded clothes. These were normal things on Saturdays. Then every once in a while, she'd come up with a whopper, like painting the entire interior of the home. Okay, this is like stuff we had to do. Not only did we do that, we did it twice. So in my 8-ish years of living in our family home in Olympia, we painted the entire interior and entire exterior of our home twice. So that's 4 major painting projects achieved just by the children and my mom and dad. So you didn't know when it was coming though. So you just there was no team meeting. Okay, so my mom would go to the hardware store, which was suspicious in the morning. If she wasn't around, you knew she had an idea. And you're like, where's mom? What's happening? So all of a sudden there's like 12 gallons of paint out in the garage, tons of paintbrushes, and this is what's happening. And my mom, part of her charm as a mother was that instead of wondering how we felt about this, she was just already more pissed off about the whole situation than we are. It's like, no, don't talk to me. Just grab the brush. No, you over here. You over here. Shut. That was the whole thing. And just like, okay, got it. So we got a little boom box and we start painting. And my poor father, 6'6", great guy. And our house had all these angles. So he was immediately roped in as well and had like, all this ceiling work and these weird little angles. And so he's totally in the misery with us, And my mom would help, but then she always seemed to have to go get supplies or make us lunch. So, we're all painting. So, one day we get to like 3 o'clock-ish, right? And we've done most of the house. The last room is my sister's. And it's one of those moments you're like, man, maybe mom will let up. Maybe we could just like finish now, just be done. Ann's room looks great. We don't need to paint it. So mom comes in and she drops a pile of Olympians. So that's our newspaper. Growing up, it was coming to the house every day, on the ground. And you're like, man, here we go. So the newspapers were to cover the carpet, tape, newspaper, and then you paint. So like, man, okay. And we're probably gonna mass late because we are not gonna be able to leave this house until this is done. Like that's the vibe. So everybody's kind of ticked. We're like all the people on the MMA tournament in the cage at once at this point. It's like no one wants to be the one who like doesn't survive. We're just kind of full of anger. And God bless my sister. She broke the whole thing. This is one of those family lore stories. She walks to the newspaper, picks it up, and she goes, "Start spreading the news." It was so sweet. So this is not the funniest story. Thank you, Joel. But it was like one of the best. So total family lore thing where somebody will just go, "Start spreading the news," and everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. So of course we all start to sing it and immediately move to like the whole cassette tape for Fiddler on the Roof, and like we finish it and it's all good. So yeah, isn't family fun the way you get a bong that way? So nice. Yeah, having siblings is always interesting. All right, so today we have a very special treat. I'm going to pause myself right now. Quiggy Comedy Hour is designed to give people the opportunity to do comedy who have never done it before, haven't done it very much, because I think it's important. And open mics are a little treacherous, and they're often late, and you have to wait a long time to get on stage, and they only give you 3 minutes. And they flash a light. It's a little stressful. So one of my purposes is to bring in fresh comedy. So I have the very, very, very great pleasure of introducing you tonight to someone who's doing comedy, stand-up comedy, for the first time. Madison, please join us up here on stage. Warm buyers ready on the applause moment for all of you.
That's so nice. Yeah, thanks everybody.
Come on in.
Hi everybody, how's everyone doing? Love to hear that. So appreciate everybody coming out here tonight. Like she was saying, this is my first time. I've always wanted to do this. Now I've got the opportunity to. So appreciate everybody being here. Feel kind of bad for everybody here because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a slightly problematic person. Not like super pleasant to be around. People would never say I'm fun at parties, and some of you might be thinking, no, you're just being hard on yourself. You're gonna believe me by the time I'm done. I can blame it on a lot of things because that'd be easier than taking personal responsibility for being unpleasant as I am. I'm not gonna do that. So. I could blame it on my father, who's a violent alcoholic, probably why I'm up here right now. Some of us comedians probably had some interesting childhoods growing up. I could blame it on my brother, who's a violent misogynist, even though he has 3 sisters. One did pass away last year though, so 1 down is a good start. Those are his words, not mine. I'm just prepping you guys. I would never say that. That's, like I said, he said that. My other sister, the one that's still alive, just to clarify, she lives with me, and she has for the last 6 years, and she does not leave her room unless she wants to watch a Disney movie, which sounds a lot cuter than it is, because she is 30 years old. It's fun, but we're like, all right, let's watch something that's not animated 1 time, please. I was misdiagnosed as bipolar 10 years ago, so that was fun. I love telling people that. Everybody usually shies away when you say the word bipolar, but I got re-diagnosed about 9 months ago. And it turns out that I just have autism, like every other millennial on the internet. So I got to spend 10 years thinking that I was crazy, and it turns out I'm just trending on TikTok. Honestly, I'm not sure which one is worse. It's not really psyched about that either. I haven't been in a relationship in a really long time. I don't know why, but yeah, it's been probably about 5 years at this point, and the last serious relationship I was in was with somebody who was twice as old as me. Met him when I was 20, and he was almost 40, so really healthy situation there, as you can tell. Got great taste in men. And we were together for about 5 years, and I lived with him and his children, and me and his kids got along great because we were literally only a few years apart, so we had a lot in common. But one day, got great taste in men, and one day he just woke up and kicked me and the dog out with absolutely no warning at all, no reason. I wish I was making that up, but that is totally true. And honestly, the worst part about that whole situation was that it was his idea to get the dog in the first place, and then he didn't want the dog anymore, or me, which again, that's understandable, but the dog, man, come on. And so we had decided to get this dog, and his whole thing, because he was a fisherman, was that he wanted to get a swimming dog. So naturally, we got a standard poodle, because that's what everyone thinks of when you think of a swimming dog, right? So I get to walk around the streets of Seattle now with a 70-pound standard poodle and have people say, you know, you really should have adopted instead of shopped. And I'm like, I'm literally a single mother doing the best that I can. His father abandoned us, and he acts out constantly because he misses his father, and I have to remind him every single day, Daddy's not coming home, and I'm all you have. So I'm trying to perk up a little bit. Yeah. So again, like I said, not super pleasant. Don't like a lot of things that other people like. I pretty much only like problematic or universally disliked things. Have my whole life. Like, favorite animal since I was a little kid has been spiders. My mother, who's in the crowd, can attest to this. I love spiders. Any spider fans in the house? I was not expecting that. All right, cool. That's great. I love that. That's awesome.
They eat other bugs.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. And they're cute. I like them. Yeah, I like them a lot. I even worked with them professionally for 5 years, actually. I worked in an exotic pet store, so I got to take care of tarantulas and spiders, and I always love trying to talk to people about this, and I always say, think of any kind of spider you can, and I probably raised one, and I get the same answer every time, which is, I can't think of a single kind of spider, and please stop talking about spiders. Nobody likes to hear my spider stories. I know it is sad. I love them, but it's fine. I'll just keep that to myself. Just put that in and bury it deep. I also love baseball. You can probably tell by looking at me, I used to play softball. So, and who is the baseball team that my alcoholic father shoved so hard down my throat that there was almost no room for the inferiority complex that he instilled in me? The New York Yankees, guys. Yeah. I don't know if you guys know this. Being a Yankee fan in Seattle is like being a social pariah. Everybody hates them. My very first Yankee game, I was 8 years old, and I remember walking out and getting called Yankee trash by a grown man. Yeah. Villains are not born, they are created, and I am living proof. So, I relate to the Joker more than I probably should. That same father was a radio DJ for 20 years, so he also instilled a love of music in me, which sounds good, right? Not so much. For the last 10 years, my favorite artist, because of being drawn towards problematic people, has been Kanye West. Yeah, seen him live. Kind of thought he was the second coming of Christ during my more manic days when I thought I was bipolar. I was like, this is just a bipolar episode. He's totally Jesus Christ. I believe him. I know where he's coming from, guys. You just don't know him the way that I do. And everybody knows that. Everyone knows how much I love him. So during this last year or two, when he's gone really, really off the deep end, even for me, I've had people ask me, they're like, you don't still listen to him, you don't still support him. I'm like, I don't support him, but obviously I still listen. I started with my generation, I'm gonna still listen to him. I just block him on Spotify when other people are in the car so they don't see him come up on shuffle. I explain that to strangers. Sorry about that. And movies are probably my all-time favorite thing. I'm a huge fan of film. All my tattoos are references to film. Nothing brings me more joy than watching movies. And some of you might know where this is going, but my favorite actor, again, not making this up, Kevin Spacey's not my favorite actor. Always liked him. I've had a crush on him since he was a grasshopper in A Bug's Life, which also makes sense that I like Republican men because he was a dictator in that. I really got me going as a young freak. I really liked him as that grasshopper. Him and that elf with the dreadlocks from the Santa Claus. But we'll be here all night if I start talking about Bernard, and I don't think any of us have time for that. So I'm gonna move on from Bernard. But again, just always loved him, and I know, right? It's hard. And then he's making a comeback, or he's trying to make a comeback right now, guys. He's coming out with some new movie next year. And I'll just say this in front of an audience: if he comes out with anything new, I promise not to watch it with anybody else. I will watch it by myself because my spacey time is private, and that's my me time. So I'm not watching that with anybody else. But movies, yeah, like I said, movies, favorite thing in the whole world. Love watching a lot of movies. The best way that I can connect to a stranger or new coworkers by asking them, "What's your favorite movie?" And I always have to lull them into a false sense of comfort by saying, "There's no right or wrong answer. Just tell me what it is." And we all know that's not true because there's a lot of wrong answers. There's a lot of wrong answers to that question. It's probably not the movies that you're thinking of, because my generation, I'm a millennial, we have things that we like to call red flag movies, and they're mostly movies that incels like, is what they say, and I'm basically turning into an incel every single day because of how long it's been since I've been with somebody, so maybe that's why I like these movies. But those movies are movies like American Psycho, Joker, Fight Club, those kind of movies. I love those movies, and I don't know if it's because they're good movies or because I haven't been with somebody in so long, but either way, I love them. I kind of understand where they're coming from. Those aren't red flag movies. Those aren't red flag movies. Red flag movies are movies that people say that they like to sound smarter than they actually are, and I can tell that they're lying when they say they like these movies. Like, red flag movies to me are movies like, it's a hot take, but Lady Bird, I think that movie was awful. It was so stupid, it was really boring, and if you say you like it, you're just trying to sound deep, and I don't believe you. 2001: A Space Odyssey, Kubrick made like 2 or 3 good movies, that's not one of them. If you say you like it, I don't believe you. The main one, my favorite red flag movie, is Citizen Kane. Thank you. I've told people to their face before when they say Citizen Kane is my favorite movie, I say, no, it's not. They get really upset when I say that usually. I'm like, name one scene from that movie without using the word rosebud. If you don't sound smart, you sound like a liar. I'd rather you just be honest and tell me you like some stupid movie. Say you like Fast and the Furious, say you like Marvel. I'll still judge you, but I won't think that you're a liar. So I'd rather think you were stupid than just lying to me. And I know I'm the one asking this question, so me having this reaction is probably not very nice, but again, not super pleasant, so like I said, it's tough being in the city. Like I said, I complain about being single. It's tough being in the city when you look the way that I do, when you sound the way that I do, because most people do assume that I'm gay, and I am non-binary, so I am part of that. It's mostly for attention, but I am part of that LGBTQ group, and I'm very, very proud of it. And there's nothing wrong with being lesbian. I'm just not, and men usually aren't like super into my whole like fist bump talk about baseball thing. They're usually just like, oh, she's not on my team, and then I'm like, it's they actually, and then they're like, okay, I don't want to talk to you anymore. It's so weird. I don't know why I'm still single. And I fought for gay rights really hard. I'm 33, so I was the president of my Gay Straight Alliance when I was in high school, and I went to a lot of protests for gay marriage when I was in my early 20s, and part of me kind of wishes I could go back and be like, maybe just like try and distance yourself slightly from that, because it definitely rubbed off on you a lot. It's great. There's nothing wrong with it. I have a lot of friends that are lesbians. We got a lot in common. We do not have a lot of the same interests, though. I got to tell you, I hate hiking. I don't drive a Subaru. I hate sad indie girl music. I like Kanye West, so obviously I don't like Mitski and Phoebe Bridgers. And more importantly, the things that I watch, I really don't like. I don't like RuPaul's Drag Race. I like drag queens. That show's just a little too vanilla for me. I like House of Cards, so that I can watch Kevin Spacey at his peak, which is when he plays an old, balding, bloated Republican, because that's my type, and the only chance that I have of getting with an old, balding, bloated Republican is if I look like his daughter that doesn't talk to him anymore because he voted for Donald Trump, which, again, we'd probably be into that. So yeah, he has a daughter that looks like a mix between Harry Potter and Gypsy Rose, and I can really get in there and end this dry spell spell of mine one of these days. I appreciate everybody listening and being so responsive because my therapist broke up with me recently. She was like, "You're doing fine. I don't think we need to see each other anymore." And I'm like, "I think you just don't want to talk to me anymore." So I appreciate that, but I will leave you guys all with this. If any of you have a father you don't talk to anymore because you voted for Donald Trump, can I please have his number? I've been a really, really good stepmom. Just please don't kick me in the dog out again. Should I walk away?
No, you shouldn't walk away. Okay, who hopes Madison continues to do that? We're booking you, we're bringing you, you're amazing.
So much.
How did it go for you?
Oh, that felt really good. I'm just glad I didn't forget anything. I was like, just keep talking about yourself, and it's all gonna go. It's all gonna go fine. Just glad people didn't get mad about the Kevin Spacey thing. So we'll see how that goes over, because that's all really true. I still really like him.
Just a surprise over here, Kevin Spacey is right
Here,
here.
is he still gay?
He's
about to know.
Okay, I was like, did you switch teams? Because that'd help me out a lot. So.
I kind of wonder if it's a synchronicity that your therapist broke up with you right when you're starting to do public comedy, because I think you could just take it to the streets.
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
all
I
your
think
thoughts.
that'll help. Yeah, exactly. And then I don't have to pay anybody either. So yeah, you can just listen for free. Yeah, and I don't really need any feedback either. Some of her feedback was a little judgy. I was told her I thought people were mad at me all the time, and she was like, "That's kind of narcissistic if you ever think everything's about you." And I was like, "That's not what I'm paying you to say." So, I didn't like that at all. She's nice gal, but yeah, this is better and cheaper. So.
You could have a drink. It's like, even though it's NA, you're
Yeah, it's
just,
not
you're
alcoholic,
you're
yeah.
not mocktailing.
I'm mocktailing, yeah. I got 90 days recently, so. It's going good, so yeah.
Not as fun as it sounds.
It's good, yeah.
Thank you, Madison.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Appreciate
man. Definitely one of the strongest starts I've ever witnessed. So glad we saw it here. Very nice. So, she is so good. And now Susie's on your side, Madison, your life's gonna change. Book her at Microsoft. Bring her to an event.
She is so good. I
There you
mean,
go.
blown away.
She needs to go straight to corporate. do holiday parties. That's where the money is. Well, Madison, I love that 90% of what you said in your millennial speak I did not understand. What in the heck is incel?
I knew it! I was just gonna say, I told one of my friends, I was like, I don't know if they're
If
gonna know
fellow
what
flags
incel
were like,
is.
do I know this? Have I heard this word? Is she speaking another language?
Involuntary celibate, it means you want to have sex but don't want to have
Oh.
sex. So it's usually like tech bros, but
Tech
also
bros.
non-binaries like me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did people catch that? Because I'm a little embarrassed to repeat it. Thank you. You can look that up on the internet. Okay. Incel. Okay, well, we're all learning, and that's a beautiful thing. So, okay, yeah, Madison, great job. Well done. Yeah. So I'm not a millennial who uses cool words. I am going to attempt to fit in some Gen Z words though tonight. Watch, it's going to be amazing. I like all the Gen Z talk. I think it's fun. But I was reflecting on my aging self, which is now coming near 50. Okay, just going to say it, and how I spent most of my 20s and 30s and into the 40s doing everything I could to not date 50-year-old men. Who is with me, girls, right? Okay, only Lisa. Okay, fine. Because here's the 50 plus. I mean, 50 plus. So like in your 20s, there are 50 plus men. They have homes, sometimes more than one. They have like their regular car, and then they have their cool car that they want to take you places in. They can pay for trips. They take you to nice restaurants. There's all these nice things about 50 plus men. But when you're 20, you're like, no, because you're basically my dad. I'm not doing that. So then as you get into your 30s, maybe 40s, maybe, now that I'm nearing my 50s, it's this wonderful switch that has happened, okay? Now I am tracking and looking for gray in the beard. I need gray in the beard for this to work, okay? I need someone who has had some amount of either chronic knee or back pain. Because he has been humbled, okay? He knows he will die one day. He's thinking about that. He's trying to make the most of life. Probably doing some estate planning. That's a good sign, okay? So it would match, okay? Yeah. I need him to have a passport. I would like it that he does not live with his parents currently. Okay, maybe you have to, but probably at this point you're there because you need to take care of them. That's probably where we're at. That's probably where we're at, parents. Totally get it. Yeah, it's a really wonderful switch. And then I'll see now men in their 20s and 30s, and they're like, oh, he looks like Ted did back when he was 20. That's so cute. Like, they'll remind me of boys I know when they were younger, and it's like, they could talk and do like intergenerational healing, and Ted could teach him things, because Ted's now 52 with 3 children, and he does not look like he did in his 20s anymore. I've decided that men in their 50s who have 6-packs are sus. Look at that, I used one of that. I know it's like 2 years old now, so don't shame me, it's okay, I'm trying. But 50-something men with 6-packs, you gotta wonder, right? As a girl looking at this situation, okay, what are you doing with your time? Okay, who are you helping? Are you concerned about others or just yourself? Is it all about protein and having no fun if I take you to dinner with my friends? Like, do you just work out all the time? Like, do you have a job? Like, what's fun? What's fun about you with your 6-pack? Probably not a lot. That's probably me. So you kind of want a little gray in the beard, little belly. It's okay. It means he's just gonna sit down and have a nice meal with you, so that's nice. And then there's this other really wonderful thing. These men have been absolutely tenderized by the women that preceded me. They have whacked them with that wooden mallet and just made them do things they didn't want to do over and over. So you're like, foot rub, got it. No problem. They do foot rubs, they do shoulder rubs. They have a variety of meals, not just one that they can make for you, and they will procure the ingredients and bring them to your home. That's great. They maintain things. They take care of stuff. They think ahead. They remember what you like, and they definitely know when you say absolutely not. They're like, cool, totally fine. Because someone they tried that on, lost her, you know what? And they were kicked out of the house for like a week. So it's really great. So just put it out there, ladies. Once you get to the point where 50 plus is looking attractive, definitely go for it. It is fantastic. Yeah, just hopefully they're over the back pain at that point. So that'd be good. And I was reflecting on my 20s, and I also did not do a great job dating my 20s, but I did hang out with gay men a lot. Ladies, who's with me? Okay, so there was so much fun to be had in your 20s with the gay boys because they are just looking for a good time. That's generally the vibe, right? So they're dressed up cute, they're feeling cute, and they want to go out, right? And they want to dance, and they want to have drinkies and do fun things. And I wanted to give homage tonight to the gay boys, and this is my brother who is not gay coming in right now. Jenny, find any seat you guys can find, okay? They have this wonderful range of abilities, okay, that only they can have. So straight dudes, straight women, gay women, it doesn't matter. There's the gay boy things the gay boys get to do, and that is they can both analyze your outfit with like a stylist's eye, and then like give you ruthless advice about your relationship and your career. And it's really like they're very both great. So I'm gonna give you an example. So in general, if you're a straight woman who dates men, or whatever I'm supposed to call myself, I don't know, I'm sorry, cis woman, men will find you attractive in whatever you're wearing, you know, but this is like how much they can get pretty. You know, pretty. They don't know how to tell you why you look pretty, right? They're just like, pretty, you know, that's like, oh, that's it. And they're happy that you're pretty, but there's no words to describe why, okay? Whereas gay men, and I don't know why, in their brains have a special place where like, okay, honey, I told you not to wear spaghetti straps. I told you halters to accentuate your shoulders. And why are we in an A-line when I told you to wear a pencil to make your butt pop? What is this? Is there anything you're trying to do that I've taught you? No, they're just very possessive and angry and really good at styling. So that was one great thing. I learned a lot in my 20s from my gay guy friends. And then there's a huge difference between like relationship advice from your female friends and your gay guy friends in your 20s, and it's a scream. So gay men have about 30 seconds worth of patience for any slightly derailed relationship. Like, they're gonna give something this long, and then they're like, we gotta go. So like, women, bless us, literature. So we're like, I don't know, he hasn't called me in 5 days, but I feel like he kind of looked at me on the bus, and I don't know, he was scratching his eye, but I think we made eye contact. He's like, we'll just milk any crumble that comes. And I just love gay men, because they're like, he hates you. He's not interested in you. You need to leave him alone, and we're going out. Okay, ditch it. Let's go. Like, you whine too much. You know, so gay men are great because they'll inject, and meanwhile your friends who are girls are like, honey, I could really see you guys together. Like, I think I can feel what you're feeling. I see the energy, right? This is your girl. Don't let your girlfriends. Just like talk to gay men because they're wonderful. They don't have patience for nurturing relationships. So I just want to give a shout out to the gay boys tonight, after kind of joking about 50-year-old men who are also wonderful. So I'm seeing if there's anything else on that. Nope. Okay. So one more quick story or two. By the way, I write a fresh set for every show, so I just have to kind of know myself sometimes. Okay, so in my 20s, it's fun, very fun. In my 20s, I was trying real hard to look cute, right? We all were. And I, as I said, am a giantess, you know, a lot of German genetics rocking right here. And I have one thing I absolutely hate about taking care of myself, and that is shaving my legs. Okay, okay, who are you, this nodding woman in the back? Every time she's like, yes, yes, yes. You're coming with me everywhere from now on. Okay? Just so she knows, I know, yes. So shaving my legs, the antithesis of fun. There are so many things. I would rather scrub your toilet than shave, and I'm serious, I don't like shaving my legs. Why? I have so much surface area, you don't see it, but like these thighs are huge and it takes forever. And you gotta sit there and it's like this seesaw, and then every one of my knees has like 35 surfaces and hair is growing in a different direction on every one of them. And it's like behind the ankle bones, it's miserable, it's so unfun. But you kind of have to do it. So in my late 20s, early 30s, at some point I hear about the concept of waxing my legs. I'm like, well, that's cool, that's what I'll do, that sounds great. So I looked up the spa, way out of budget, it's crazy. Like it's like $300 to have your legs properly waxed, I'm not gonna do that. So I did what I always did in my 20s, and I went to the Aveda Beauty School in Capitol Hill. Has anybody ever been there? Aveda? Okay. She's like, I'm gonna get a facial for $20, right? I'm going to the Aveda Beauty School, which seems like a good idea. Okay, so I set up my appointment at the end of the workday. I'm a little downtown working girl, and I head up to Capitol Hill, and I'm there about an hour and a half before this place is gonna close. Okay. Thus starts the problem. So I get in there, and Lulu or someone is my person, right? So she greets me, we do the little questionnaire, and she's wondering how I'm feeling, getting me tea. We talk about what essential oil I might like during my treatment, and then we go downstairs, and it's basically this huge basement that looks like a place for displaced people who are getting medical care. Okay, so it's like curtains are set up, there's no real privacy, and you have this like really wobbly massage table I put on. So Lulu and I are talking about my essential oils and my feelings, and then she's like, I'm gonna have you put on this. So from the giantess perspective, again, spas have little outfits they put women in when you go in there. They do not fit me. Okay, just so you know. I'm just saying, they back in the day, they're not having, so it's like it has to fit around this part of your body, it has to cover you, and then not fly open on the side, all of which like it's totally tight, so uncomfortable. I'm like, that's fine, okay, being tall. So I finally get settled in, and Chad arrives. So Chad is her instructor, okay? Chad is a really perky gay dude with super bleach blonde hair who's like tiny and fit and quick. Everything he does is fast. He's like, okay, Lulu, what are we doing here? Let me start, what temperature is your wax? Okay, so this is Bridget, great, okay. And so he's just in this flurry. And you get this sense with Chad that he has somewhere else he would like to be. Then at the end of the day, teaching at the beauty school, like he's done, all right? So he needs Lulu to kind of get it going and wrap it up, okay? So I'm feeling the vibes from Chad. So there's 8 portions, you know, front thigh, calf, and they'll flip me over so I get the whole description of what's about to come. I'm good, I just gotta lay here, no problem. So Lulu gets started, okay? Lulu spreads a little wax out, she gets out the strip. It does hurt, but totally worth it, 6 weeks of no shaving, hello. And immediately I notice she starts using the pluckers. So the pluckers are a sign that Lulu did not have much success waxing my legs. Okay, the hair is not coming out, so she has to hand pluck it. Okay, this is bad for Lulu and for me. It's kind of uncomfortable. But then again, you know, northern German genes, I'm like very pale with super dark hair. I don't know where all this came from. So Lulu's going, and Chad pops in. Chad's checking in. So, Lulu, how are we? Lulu's second wind is what Lulu's not doing a good job. And so he recognizes the situation, which is this place is closing in an hour and you have like not even completed her calf. So he's like, great, okay, I'm gonna get Kendra, okay, and Kendra's gonna come and help you. So Kendra's like an older student. So Kendra has finished for her day and she comes in, and now I have 2 of these girls working on my legs, okay? So we carry on, and Kendra's kind of coaching Lulu, and they're working on this together. And Chad continues to check in because Chad would like to leave, right? So at some point, not kidding you, Chad is clearly infuriated by this whole situation. And he says, that's it, I'm helping. So by the time I have finished at the Aveda Beauty School at Capitol Hill, I have not 1, not 2, but 3 professionals waxing my legs. Because there's that much to do, and that's why I'm telling you, but I do not like shaving my legs. It is such a huge job being tall sometimes and having big, strong thighs. So yeah, that was a bit traumatic, but in some ways I felt really vindicated because I have struggled with my entire life. It was nice to watch those three just sweat it out. They're like mopping their brows, you know, trying to rip the strips, like, when will she ever leave? So I do have a song for you tonight, but I'm gonna finish with one little quick set of stories just because, well, let me see, what time are we at? We started a little late. Okay, I'll just tell one quick one. So last time I did a bunch of stories from Italy, which was a ton of fun, and it was ridiculous. Travel stories are always fun. And I thought this time of telling you a little bit about my trip to Ireland, where I discovered that even though my name is Bridget Quigg, which is just so Irish, I do not like Irish to Irish people, just so you know, okay? I look like some sort of exotic Mediterranean mix that I do not recognize. So I go to Ireland and with friends, we had been in England all term in the fall of 1996, and then we go for a weekend trip to Dublin, which I'm super excited because I'm going to the homeland, right? Like, whew. And in college, I'd gone down to San Jose, went to school in California, and I did Kaylee dancing with my friend Ronan McGovern. He literally would say things like, I think I heard the tin whistle when we're going into the this guy was so authentic. So I was gonna stay with his family in Dublin, which was super exciting, and he's like, British, you can't stay very long, she'll stress out my mother, you know? So he had this mom who was very doting, and she was like so excited it was coming, but he's like, you can't stay more than 2 nights. So I show up the first night with my friends, and we go out in Dublin, and I hear the tin whistle, and I'm like, hey, yo, there's Kaylee dancing, let's go. You guys are gonna love this. So we go into this bar, we go upstairs, and it's just hot. Even though it's December, it's like hot, and the guy in the middle has a microphone, and he's got people ready to go, but he's literally, as we walk in, saying, we need one more dancer. And I'm like, the heavens have parted, it's my moment. I'm in Dublin, I know how to do this. So I raise my hand, so I'm like, I'm going. And he's like, oh, what's your name? I said, it's Bridget. No, it's not. You know, he literally, no, it's not. And I said, no, it's Bridget. He goes, Bridget, huh? Where are you from? And I said, America, the United States. And he goes, basically, he's thinking you are not a white person. That's why, listen, in Ireland, I do not seem white to Irish people because I have this slight darkness. Anyway, I don't know what's happening. He's fighting me. So he's like, ask me again. You say, so your name's Bridget, and you're from America. He says, he pauses a long time, looks around there, no one else fights. He goes, Bridget, from America, and the whole place erupts. I get to go out and dance. It was great. So I got to dance the Kaylee in Dublin. And so so I go to bed that night. I wake up at Ronan's family's house and come downstairs, and the whole family's there because the sons are kind of living with mothers and fathers and whatever. So he has 2 brothers, Declan and Owen. And Declan's the super hot police officer from Dublin, and then Owen's like the kind of goofy brother who's like maybe mildly employed and like whatever. I don't know what's going on with Owen, who through the process of this trip, like basically decides I need to marry him. So we'll tell that story in a second. So I come down for breakfast, and it's like the most puffy, beautiful oatmeal I've ever seen in this kind of dimly lit kitchen. I sit down, I just took a shower, and all of a sudden my hair is lifted off my neck, and not a towel, but a heated towel. It's covering my neck, and Bridget, you're catching death of cold. What you doing, Bridget? This is his mother, who literally does everything for you. Like, she's got the bowl out, she's showing me the cream, she's showing me the butter, like everything. And she's so doting, like the doting Irish mother I didn't understand until this moment. So I go out with with Ronan and his brother, and we come back, and his brother basically confesses his love to me by holding my hand and kissing me, which was very sweet. So I broke hearts in Ireland, I know. And the next morning we get up and we leave for Galway, and this is like the moment where I realized like I do not look Irish to these people. So my friends and I drive across the country, one left-handed friend being the driver, and we get to Galway, and we go out in a bar, and the 2 guys take off. It's 2 girls, 2 guys, and for some reason leave us 2 girls at the bar, and there descends this sort of pack of what you would call hooligans. So these are like classic, what you call kind of blue collar in America, soccer fans from Ireland, these guys, and they are wasted, like so drunk. So the 6'5", super skinny dude picks me out, and he comes up and he kind of leans over, and he's like barely steady, and he says, I am Brian from Orlando. And I was like, okay. And he's like, steps back, tries again. I am Brian from Orlando. And I was like, okay. And he goes, what's your name? I said, it's Bridget. He goes, where are you from? And I said, United States. Oh, you're an American. I thought you were punish or something, you know. So basically he was trying to speak to me in Spanglish and relate to my Spanish roots by calling it Ando. It was so fun, it was great. So I had a Bailey's thanks to him, and we got out of there. When his friends started asking my friend if she had any Irish in her, and would you like to eat that whole joke? They use that on tourist girls. So anyways, there's a few stories from Ireland because they're funny. But Brian from Orlando, unforgettable. All right, so the song I created for you this evening is because I was thinking about a song everybody knows and could recognize, tune-wise, so you can enjoy. And so I thought Taylor Swift, clearly, because she was raging in the last year, everybody knows her. And I was like, what's an easy Taylor Swift song to learn? And I came up with You Belong to Me. Okay, do you know what I'm talking about? Oh, can't you see You Belong to Me? So I looked up the tabs and I looked up on Google. It is, in fact, the easiest Taylor Swift song to learn, just so you know. So I was thinking about what do I want to do with this song? And I decided, for some reason, that I wanted to write about when you're on the window seat in an airplane and you really need to pee. Anybody with me? So I wrote a song called I Really Need to Pee to the tune of You Belong to Me. Are we ready? Okay, good. Because life's short and you gotta go for it sometimes. This is my time to celebrate the human creative energy that we all have. And this is a AI-free demonstration of it. This is built purely by me. And why not? Okay, and I encourage you all to make stuff. You just have to really lower the shame. You can't have shame. You just have to be like, I don't care what people think of me. Am I right, Madison? Oh, yeah. Are there dancers? The dancers actually totally have it going on. I don't feel bad for them. They're just cute as buttons. Okay. Okay. Here we go. And then we'll wrap it. By the way, Italian food down the street at Palermo. If anybody wants to come out tonight, please come out. The show happens again in October, on October 18th. Okay? And find your friends who want to try comedy and bring them in. I think we should bring Madison back. Who's with me? I'm starting out. Sorry, hold on. That's where I want to be. Yep. I'm starting out on this long 6-hour flight, trapped in the window seat, too snug, too tight. I'm worried that I am going to bug you. Can you guys hear me okay? Is that okay? You're two people between me and the aisle, sitting still in peace just ain't my style. I want to climb and crawl right by you. Cause I drink a 20-ounce coffee at the airport. This dang flight ain't feeling so short. You and your movie and all your damn snacks are about to get tipped over and smashed. Can't you see that I am full to bursting? My fault for being so dang thirsty. I really need to pee. To pee. The flight attendants are now standing in the aisle. They'll be there for the next 300 miles. No thanks, I don't need another beverage. How do I explain to you how bad I feel? Irritable sleepiness is such a crappy deal. I just might climb myself right by you. I step on the armrest over your seat, slip into the aisle, and suddenly I'm free. It's been 3 hours and I am gonna go, cause I need to end this crazy crap show. There's a line for all 4 coach bathrooms, relief can't come too soon. Oh please, somebody let me pee. Somebody let me pee. I told the airline I prefer the aisle. That's why I drank coffee with a big smile. But this whole trip has only been misery for me. I come back much calmer than I left. Yes, I come back much calmer than I left. Things are better, they're better than the best. Sorry. Hold on. I'm down with drinking drinks at the airport. You wake up confused by where I am. You both stand up to let me in. Now I just stare with peace out my window. Cause I felt every rumble of the engine purring. Turbulence had my insides burning. Window seats are just not for me. Cause I need to move and I need to be free. Can't you see that more. Come out to Italian food and hang out with us if you want to Palermo. Thank you for coming tonight. Let's hear it for our tap dancers. Let's hear it for Madison Industry for coming. Thank you, Cliff, for all you. Thank you for coming. Enjoy your night. Sky is making drinks for the next 5 minutes, but we have to get out of here technically by 8:30, so let's be nice to Sky. Okay.